Hey guys, Kano here with a quick update before you get into this draft of Vintage Cube. I'm really sorry the dog was chewing on a bone and it's like picked up on the capture, so if you can get past the awful audio in the beginning, it should stop a little bit after the draft. But we get some really good games in this one. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Kano playing some Vintage Cube. I've been waiting so long for this to come back. Super excited to play. So yeah, I guess we'll just start off then. So what do we have in this pack? We have like 4 or 5 good control cards in this pack, including Force of Will. No incredible combo enablers, to my knowledge anyway. It's kind of sad that Teferi, Search for Azcanta, and Force of Will are all in the same pack. We could take Mother of Runes if we wanted to go aggro. I think the best card to pick is probably Marsh Flats. I'm gonna take Teferi though. This seems like what I want to be doing right now. Okay. Council's Judgment, Recruiter of the Guard, Time Spiral. Volcanic Island, Arid Mesa. Lots of good fetch lands coming around. I think we're going to take Volcanic Island. Blue duels are strong. This is vintage. Teferi Time Raveler. And a Daze. And a Basalt Monolith. And a Jitte. I think I'm going to take Time Raveler. I think if Wizards of the Coast thinks that people are going to have fun playing this card in a cube, I'm going to show them how wrong that is. Dack Fayden, also excellent. Plateau is really good, though we did just pass like all the fetches that we'd want that fetch it. Day of Judgment, also really, really good. I'm going to take Dack Fayden. If people are going to play Broken Artifact mana in a format, I want it permanently. Lion's Eye Diamond. We are not in Storm. Lyra, big dumb creature. There's a Wrath of God, and we can't pass every Wrath. But I think we're going to have to take Hallowed Fountain here. Torch of Defiance, really good. We're going to take Hallowed Fountain. I don't know if we're going to be in a deck that wants to or is able to produce double red. I don't want to bank on that being the case. Also, I'm really sorry for the noise in the background, if you can hear it. Porter has decided that he wants to chew on a great big bone, and not in the living room. Okay, we got Manamorphose, Light Up the Stage, Soulfire Grandmaster, Seething Song. So I think Soulfire Grandmaster is the most likely card to be run in a control deck. Manamorphose is good, can help fix our mana if we're stuck on red or need something else. It is a cantrip. It's something that you could conceivably play in control. Like, it's not necessarily good. I don't think we're playing Light Up the Stage or Seething Song. I don't really like this card. I want to take Manamorphose. I know that's really weird, but... okay, Winds of Abandon seems really good. Just potentially one-sided Wrath. We could also take Geist of Saint Traft. I'm going to take Winds of Abandon. Moat. Okay, Moat is definitely something a control deck would want if we go up against something that's trying to creature us to death. Okay, all of the blue cards are gone out of the first pack. We'll take Lightning Helix. Council's Judgment. We take Terminus or Jitte. We have no creatures to wield Jitte, so we'll take Terminus. Plateau came around along with Day of Judgment. So we're going to take Plateau and Wrath of God and Lyra. Well, we're currently creatureless. And while Lyra and Finks are good, we need Wraths. So we're going to take Wrath of God. We will not be seeing a Force of Will or Search for Iskanta this this draft. So now if we have any blue, white, or red fetch, we're sitting pretty, I guess. Oh, hang on. Just scaring the cat off. The cat was destroying something it wasn't supposed to be destroying. Can't you chew on something a little quieter like this? We're going to take Light Up the Stage, but we're probably not playing that. This is not the kind of card advantage we want. And Blade Splicer is a random dork in our colors. So we might... It looks like we're kind of base white, considering that like all of our cards require white. Monastery Mentor, Nahiri the Harbinger, Force of Negation. All of these are cards I want to play. Mentor is a really good... Oh, we also have Swords. So we do have some removal. Mentor is a really good win condition. Force of Negation is a way to protect Mentor. We're going to take Mentor. Okay. Time Warp's kind of fun. Polluted Delta, though, I think is what we're going to take. Because that can get us white, blue, or red. And, like, that's too strong to pass up. Great, now he's throwing around his giant bone. Alright, Armageddon. 1,000-Year Storm. 1,000-Year Storm's kind of funny. It's not too late to pivot, is it? We did take a Manamorphose. I think we're going to take Windswept Heath, because that can get us red, blue, or white. And like having good mana is like paramount. Alright, Flooded Strand, Sacred Foundry, Path, Time Twister, Containment Priest, and Treachery. Oh man. I want all of these cards. And I think I'm going to take Flooded Strand. I kind of want Treachery, but I don't know if our mana is good enough currently to justify a double blue card. I also really want Path, as Swords has already gone around and Path likely will not. But neither will Flooded Strand, and there's some other removal in the cube. So we're going to take Flooded Strand. Seachrome Coast, Faith's Fetters, We'll take Seachrome Coast. Now we're getting enough blue sources we can start to justify potentially double blue cards or cards of another nature. So Miscalculation seems good. We'll take Miscalc. Let's see, in this pack we've got Revelark, Balance. We don't have any way to break the symmetry of Balance. I think Spell Pierce is what we're taking. Sun Titan seems fun. We could take Yawgmoth's Will or Baral if we were thinking about pivoting into Storm, but I don't think that's going to happen. Sun Titan, we do have a couple of fetch lands to synergize with, and 3-mana Planeswalkers and a Mentor. So, I mean, it's a way to win the game. Sword of Fire and Ice, also really good. We'll take Sun Titan. Okay, Swords came around. So we're going to take Swords. We'll take Land Tax, I think. Or we could take Blast Zone. We'll take Land Tax. Card just seems good. Thousand Year Storm, Ritual. I'm going to take Thousand Year Storm. Probably not playing it, but I'm going to take it. I think we'll take the Flash Bear. It seems like decent sideboard versus Reanimator strategies and whatnot. Just as like a haha gotcha. We might actually even main deck that just as like another threat / blocker. I think Faith's Fetters is the correct pick because we're not storming. There's like no way we can storm. Yeah, we'll take Faith's Fetters. Needle Spires, it's more fixing in our colors. We need more justification for red and blue, it looks like. Because we have a really nice mana base for it. Go on. Mother effin' Black Lotus. Well, I know what we're picking now, and I'm kind of sad we didn't force Storm. Because Black Lotus, Tendrils, oh, and Mystic Confluence. Oh, we're taking the Lotus. It's just, that's what's happening, is Lotus. Prismatic Vista, Cryptic Command, Bribery. There's a channel in this pack. And so I guess Moto is just saving all the good cards for last. So, like, Bribery wins the game. We're starting to get to a point where I'm feeling pretty confident in our mana base. Bribery can win the game. I don't know if we can make triple blue for Cryptic. Baneslayer is just a creature, and Gideon Blackblade is not a super impressive Planeswalker. So I'm going to take Bribery. Prismatic Vista might have been the actual pick there. Because we have so much other fixing, I think it's okay to pass that. We need other cards to actually potentially win the game. Also, Black Lotus Sun Titan seems kind of silly. I wouldn't mind some cantrips of some kind. Alright, we've got lots of stuff. So there's Archangel Avacyn, Brazen Borrower, Elspeth Knight Errant, Emry, Lurker of the Loch, which just recast Black Lotus every turn. Hangerback Walker, we're not playing Scrubland. We have an Anguished Unmaking, we could splash off a Scrubland, but I'm not going to do that. I think Brazen Borrower is the pick, just as like most value we can get on a creature here. Sun's Champion is a way to straight up win the game. Inspiring Vantage, another fast land. We're gonna take big Planeswalkers, especially with a Black Lotus. Big Planeswalkers seem really fun. Mind's Desire. Oh, I wish we could have done the Storm thing. A Braid or Unexpectedly Absent are our best options for removal. I think I'm going to take a Braid because just straight up destroying an artifact seems really good in this format. Sphinx's Rev. We could also take Crucible of Worlds because we have so many fetch lands. Firebolt seems really good as well. We don't have any creatures that synergize with Kiki. I'm going to take Sphinx's Rev. Could take another Lotus. Ajani Vengeance seems really good. We'll just go Vintage Planeswalker pile. I mean, I like this. And we have cards that are technically playable in our sideboard. So like, even though we have 8 lands and only 27 playables, we still have like we can make a deck out of this. A deck that should work. Mishra's Workshop. Lodestone Golem through the Breach, Thundermaw. Brightling. That's a life-linking guy. We are base white, so like this could work. We could maybe make it to double red for a Thundermaw. I'm gonna take Brightling. Let's see. Burning of Genier. I mean, if we could get a Planeswalker on the field and then blow up all the lands, it'd be hilarious. But I don't think we can do that. Maybe we can, because I don't know what else in this pack we'd actually take. We're going to take this and contemplate playing it. We have 4 creatures. So we can either take Gideon, who is a creature. I'm going to take Baneslayer. Okay. Archangel Avacyn or Elspeth Knight Errant. We don't have a ton of instant speed removal. But I'm going to take Archangel Avacyn. On color land is always good. Mind's Desire is kind of funny. I might actually be able to play that in this deck, just as like 6 mana. Because like if we like Lotus, Manamorphose, Mind's Desire for 3, but we don't have anything that we can hit that just like instantly wins the game though. Not on the spot anyway. All right, let's see. How many we have 22 cards in our main deck right now. So we really only need, we don't have any cantrips. So I think we need to be running maybe 17 lands. I want to put in Manamorphose and Spell Pierce and run 16, I think. No, we will not be running any green mana here. Okay, so the way that I do mana bases is weird, but I'm going to bring in a Hallowed Fountain, drop a Plains, bring in a Seachrome Coast, drop an island. I'm going to bring in a Volcanic Island. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically need blue earlier. Drop a mountain. Bring in a plateau, drop a Plains. Needle Spires, drop a Plains. Inspiring Vantage. We'll also drop a Plains. So Polluted Delta, drop an island. Flooded Strand, drop a Plains. And Windswept Heath, drop a Plains. I think I'm satisfied with this. So yeah, Black Lotus first try. I have no idea how this is going to go. I haven't played Vintage Cube for a long period of time. Let's do this. Alright, round 1, here we go. So we lost the die roll. I'm in favor of keeping this hand. We have Miscalculation and Winds of Abandon. And a Mentor, so. Opponent, gonna start Breeding Pool tapped. We're going to start Plains to play around Wasteland and to conceal a little bit of information. Opponent plays a Swamp. We draw Fairy Time Raveler. Well, play a Seachrome Coast and pass the turn. I really don't want to have to cycle Miscalculation, but if our opponent plays if our opponent doesn't play anything that's like, yes, I absolutely must counter that, I will do it. Thief of Sanity. So if we don't counter, we can Winds of Abandon. But if we don't counter and we try and Winds of Abandon and they have Force or Daze, we're in a really, really bad time. Yeah, I'm going to counter this. That way, if they do have a free counter spell for Miscalculation, I do have another answer for Thief. This feels really bad because I really want... I kind of needed to cycle that for a land. Not that I wanted to. Alright, they didn't have anything. That's good. That's bad. So we're stuck on 2 mana. We'll pass. Maybe we do need to be running 17. So our opponent plays a Swamp and passes. We draw an Island. Oh, thank you. So what do we start with? We can play Mentor, Brightling, or Teferi. So I think we're going to play this in order of least important to most important, and start with Brightling. Okay, opponent's turn. Opponent plays a Watergrave tapped. Animates Dead, Thief of Sanity, which is now a 1/2. We draw a mountain. So what do we do here? If they have Miscalc, Spell Pierce, we want to play the mountain first. If we were going to Winds of Abandon. We could also Teferi, Bounce Thief. That's not super great. Let's attack first. I figure we might as well. Play the mountain. Yeah, we'll Winds of Abandon. Maybe pretend like we have a counterspell. Alright. Goes through. Opponent gets a Plains. They are 4 colors. Alright. They play an island, I believe. And a Yawgmoth Thrawn Physician. I'm pretty comfortable like Faith's Fettering that. We'd also play Teferi Time Raveler and just unsummon it. Volcanic Island. Does that change what we do? I don't think so. So play Volcanic Island. Play Teferi. Still no counterspell from our opponent. I'm beginning to suspect they don't have counterspells. We'll unsummon Yawgmoth. Our opponent can't respond, because this is a fair magic card. We get a mountain. So next turn, Elspeth or Monastery Mentor and Théoden can come down. Get in for 3. Pass the turn. So it's like Esper splashing green, I guess. They replay Yawgmoth. We draw a Baneslayer Angel. Well, plus Teferi. I think I'm just going to play Big Elspeth. It's an enormous threat, and it conceals that we have Monastery Mentor and Dack Fayden. Both of which, like, at least Dack Fayden, I want to have a little bit of surprise factor with. Because, like, if they know we have Dack Fayden, they're going to be hesitant about playing any big artifacts they could have. But it plays Plains. Also good to note that these are soldiers that can block Yawgmoth, who has protection from humans. 6/7, uh-oh. Palinchron. What's happening? Ye Old Sky Whale. And Sheoldred the Whispering One? Oh gosh. That doesn't do anything. Like, we can just minus Elspeth and you lose both of those things. That's on board. You can sack them to put a -1/-1 counter on a creature and draw a card, but like... Actually, if we Faith's Fetters this first... Okay, we have to sack a creature. So we'll sack a soldier. Draw Windswept Heath. Play Windswept Heath. Faith's Fetters on Yawgmoth. Alright, resolves. We gain some life. Plus Teferi. Minus Elspeth. Go to combat. Attack, attack, attack. I will fetch up a Plains. We could get a Plateau. Let's just get a Plateau. and play Dak Faden. So much value. Oh, we can't show our opponent that we have Black Lotus. So we'll drop Baneslayer and Mentor. Yeah, I don't want to show our opponent that we're holding a Black Lotus. That needs to be a surprise in game 2, if at all possible. The upside is with this Lightning Helix, we are threatening lethal. Okay, so our opponent untaps. Opponent plays a Tropical Island. So they're like 4-color Reanimator, I think. Alright, we got him. So with the Sheoldred, I think we're going to bring in Containment Priest. Moat also seems kind of funny. We didn't see any way that they could win without creature damage. We didn't see any counter spells, so maybe we drop Spell Pierce. Like, we don't have that many ways to counter spells. We're kind of tap out control a little bit, but yeah, because we have to cut something. So I'm willing to cut a Spell Pierce, and we probably don't need this Manamorphose. Our mana felt pretty great. No white mana. Slow hand. I don't think their deck... If their deck has another derpy draw like it did before, it's going to be really slow too, but I think we need a better hand than this. This is a better hand than that. We'll keep this. I'm going to put back Plateau. Opponent starts Swamp. We'll play Needle Spires. Pass the turn. Swamp number 2. We draw a Teferi, which is good news. We'll play an island, pass the turn. Feeling good about this. Opponent has nothing. Play Flooded Strand. We're going to fetch up a Hollowed Fountain and Shock, because we need double white and double blue. And this guarantees that we have that. Yeah, play Teferi, plus Teferi. Pass the turn. If our opponent so much as plays a Mind Stone, they're going to feel so bad. They drew and play a Tropical Island. And they Murderous Rider Teferi at sorcery speed. We draw an Archangel Avacyn. Let's Dak Faden, plus targeting ourselves, and see if we can hit some lands. Because that would be pretty good. 2 lands. Okay, I think we want both of them. We're going to drop Brazen Borrower and a Mountain into the grave. Because we can get back the Mountain with Sun Titan if we really needed it. I mean, we do need it, but like, Plains lets us keep up swords. And I like our hand at the moment. Hero's Downfall. They brought in all the removals. Okay, we untap, we draw. Council's Judgment. Yeah, we're not doing anything. Pass turn. If our opponent wants to refuse to propagate a threat, I will refuse to advance the board state. Main phase Brainstorm. That's a little bit brutal. Okay. Mox Jet. So they do have artifact mana. Well, if we get Sun Titan, we'll Sun Titan Dak Faden and just yoinkity yoink. Okay, opponent is going to cast Murderous Rider. I'm going to Swords. I want to save Council's Judgment just for its utility. Hitting potentially non-creature permanents. Alright, pass. We have an Archangel we can flash in. And who'd have known that one of the best creatures ever printed in the original sets of Magic, Serra Angel, would get a strictly better upgrade in the form of Archangel Avacyn? It was like, could you imagine if back in the day, with like super hard strip mine control, you had a Serra Angel with flash? Like, what the nuts? So our opponent is going to reanimate Brazen Borrower. Okay. And take 3. Seems kind of like a desperation play to me. Though now we can Teferi, get back Time Raveler, and bounce Show and Tell, huh? Well, we can't do anything about that. So we're going to put in Sun Titan. Put in Angel of Sanctions. And they have to target Sun Titan, sure? So we'll take Teferi. So this seems pretty good. I think that was a pretty weak show and tell. Because that protects our that protects our Sun Titan from this Wrath of God. Oh no! This is gonna be sweet. And like now our opponent has to let this resolve. They can't respond any longer. Alright, sure. Alright, so we're not gonna flash in Archangel Avacyn here. Oh, and Teferi can like let us instant speed Council's Judgment. Gross. Untap. We draw Volcanic Island. Play Volcanic Island. Tick up Teferi. I don't want to risk a counterspell with this blue mana, so we're just going to go ahead and Wrath of God right now. Cool, we'll get back Dak Faden. Of course we will use the ability. And thanks for the mocks. Oh, that seems good. Like equivalent to a Sylvan Primordial. Just blow up a land, take one, get your own land. You know, that felt amazing. I hope for the people watching that felt amazing, because for me that felt amazing. Dark Petition, cast with Spell Mastery. So ye old demonic tutor, effectively. Animate Dead, targeting Angel of Sanctions. Is that the plan? Okay. So Angel of Sanctions. They're gonna take Sun Titan. They're gonna take Teferi, because Teferi can bounce Angel of Sanctions. You still have one black mana. You've already used your Reanimate. Okay, they got nothing to do with it. We untap. We draw a Plateau. Okay. Well, let's go looting. Mentor. We'll drop land. Oh, hang on. Play Mentor. Council's Judgment. Getting tokens. Prowess triggers. We will choose Angel of Sanctions. And this way they don't get the Embalm value off of Angel of Sanctions. Opponent is struggling with the interface of Council's Judgment, it appears. Okay. Okay, Animate Dead. Triggered ability on the stack. Plus Teferi. Go to combat. Get in with Sun Titan. Let's reanimate a Brazen Borrower, shall we? And opponent scoops it up. That'll be round one for our first Vintage Cube draft. See you guys next round. Alright. Disregard any costume change. We're going into round two of our Vintage Cube. We'd love to play first. Yeah, you know what? This is a, what is that, a turn two? Avacyn? Yeah, we'll keep. we'll keep. I mean, just a Serra Angel on turn two seems kind of good. Play Needle Spires, pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest into a Llanowar Elves. Sure. Teferi. We could also play a Teferi. I like the Archangel. Play Black Lotus. Pass the turn. Hope we don't get Krosan gripped. Opponent is going to play a Coalition Relic. Well, sure, actually. Into an Avacyn's Pilgrim. Well, say hi to Avacyn's Pilgrim. We untap, we draw a Lightning Helix. So I think we play a mountain. Whenever a non-angel creature you control dies. Okay, well, let's get in for damage. And get in for a whopping 4, take him to 16. We could just Helix a dork. That might be reasonable. We could, if we play Teferi and bounce, Teferi is gonna die. So let's just Helix this Avacyn's Pilgrim, pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. Takes an extra turn. Just 5 mana explore. Sure. Opponent plays another forest. And what? Does not attack. Okay, we draw an island. We'll play an island. Go to combat. And get in for 4. Take our opponent to 12. Sure. Okay. Play Teferi. Bounce Coalition Relic. What's up with my camera? He's gonna put a charge counter on it. Sure. We get an Ajani Vengeant. Excellent Planeswalker to have at this point of the game. Opponent Finale of Devastation, X2. For a Rofellos. Alright, we draw a Dak Faden. Tick up Teferi. Play a mountain. Play a Johnny. Kill Rofellos. And get in for 4. Well, now it's just a Planeswalker parade. Opponent plays a Coalition Relic. They seem to be stuck on mana for a big play or just don't have anything to do. And they concede. Well, turn 2 Avacyn Archangel is kind of fun. This feels like a time we might want Moat. We may also want this Terminus, but that remains to be seen. I'm gonna drop this Manamorphose. It was kind of just derpy that whole game. Like, it was just a cantrip that we never cast, which I think makes it a terrible cantrip. Oh dear. We also have Bribery versus this deck, which is pretty sweet. So this is a turn 3 Elspeth Suns Champion, or a turn 2 Baneslayer, or a turn 1 Ajani Vengeant. You know, it's not great, but I'm going to do it. So we're going to go Sea Chrome Coast, Black Lotus, Red, White, Ajani. Your Temple Garden doesn't untap. Pass the turn. Oh dear. Oh my god, it was their only land! It doesn't get any better than this! Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. And opponent scoops. Well, that's the power of Black Lotus for you. Good lord. See you guys in round 3. Alright, welcome to round 3. Maybe not. Alright, welcome to the real round 3. Welcome to round 3. We'll be on the play. Alright, this seems like a fairly decent hand. We'll keep. Could you maybe chew that somewhere else, Porter? Alright. We're going to start with a Windswept Heath and pass the turn. Current plan is Mentor Beats. Opponent starts Swamp. Imperial Seal. So opponent gets a Vampiric Tutor. Wonder if there's some kind of Storm deck. Okay. They lose 2 life. We'll pass to their end step. We're going to fetch up a Hallowed Fountain tapped. Untap. We draw a Needle Spires. We're going to play a Mountain. Pass turn. Hold up Lightning Helix. Opponent plays a Forest. Sure. We draw another mountain. Play a plains. I don't know if I want to just run out Mentor into nothing. I think we're going to wait at least a turn. Maybe it was better to play a Needle Spires, but we'll see. Okay. Opponent plays a swamp. Elves of Deep Shadow. Yeah, we'll just Helix the Dork. Untap. Teferi Time Raveler. We'll play a Needle Spires. Play Teferi. Plus Teferi. This is nice as it lets us Winds of Abandon after casting Mentor at instant speed. So we can cast Mentor and then we can Winds of Abandon at instant speed is what I'm trying to say. Which feels pretty awesome. So play Flooded Strand, tick up Teferi, Monastery Mentor. Pass the turn. Opponent is going to Dark Ritual. Garruk Relentless. Okay. He's going to fight Monastery Mentor. Well, that feels kind of bad. Get our Volcanic Island. Untap. We draw a Faith's Fetters. So our opponent could have Fatal Push here. If they do, they're going to get a 1/1 Wolf out of the deal on their turn. I still think we're gonna try. Kill Garruk. Alrighty. Tick up Teferi. Pass the turn. Well, the good news is we have an active Teferi at high loyalty. Bad news is we don't really have a way to put our opponent on a clock yet, other than Needle Spires. Alright, and our opponent scoops it up. This is going to be a very quick video, I think. Oh, man. Our opponents are playing Concede Tribal. We're going to bring in Moat. Probably drop the Manamorphose. Yeah, run it back like that. Okay, well this hand is very unkeepable. We will mulligan. This hand is much better. If our opponent has a big creature, we could just win off of Bribery. They were playing Dorks. We're gonna keep... We're gonna put back Volcanic Island, I think. Opponent starts Library of Alexandria after a mulligan, which is way worse than a Library of Alexandria pre-mulligan. Opponent is going to try and get to where they can draw off of Library. Play an Inspiring Vantage and passed. Okay, they draw off of Library. Play a Swamp. And Imperial Seal. I'll Spell Pierce the Tutor. I would prefer them not doing that. Alrighty, well, play an island. We have Brazen Borrower / Petty Theft this turn. Opponent draws a card off Library, plays a Forest, and casts a Signet. Well, put the Signet back in their hand. Untap, we draw Winds of Abandon. Play Windswept Heath, pass the turn. Would really like to draw another land for this Bribery. Opponent plays a Forest, draws off Library, and recasts Signet. Alright, well, flash the Borrower. Untap, we draw a Mountain. Perfect. Let's fetch with Windswept Heath. We're going to get a Plains. And, Bribery our opponent. What do you have that's big and scary? Ulamog, Emrakul, Sundering Titan. All of these are very scary things. But not the big Emrakul. So we're going to take Ulamog. Let me print screen this just in case. Put Ulamog into play. Get in for 3. Interesting. Well, our opponent has to have something pretty good to beat that. Fast Bond. Draw a card off library. So even if they could Emrakul the Promise to end us, neither of our pieces of removal hit this Ulamog, which is pretty sweet, ironically. Okay, 4 mana. Eureka. So opponent gets to put 1 permanent onto the battlefield. We are going to put no permanents onto the battlefield. Terastodon. Okay. Oh, jeez. If our opponent doesn't blow up any of our lands, they lose if we draw a land. If we draw an untapped land, which I think is every land but Needlespire's. Been a while since I looked at the mana base, but I remember ours is pretty good. So what are you blowing up, opponent? Also bribery, so good. Opponent is going to blow up 3 of their own permanents. So if we draw an untapped land, they just straight up lose the game. Oh wait, no, they can Lightning Greaves Kozilek. So we have to sack 4 non-Ulamog permanents. Which I believe looks like this. Damn. Yeah, we block. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. We actually lost. If we'd drawn a land, we could Council's Judgment and get rid of Kozilek. As it stands, we can Winds of Abandon Terastodon and attack with Ulamog, but then they just block and sack a bunch of irrelevant permanents, and then we die on the backswing. Wow, we cast Bribery, got an Ulamog, and lost. That was brutal. Good plays by our opponent, though. Good plays. Sounds like we want a Containment Priest, which I don't know why I didn't bring it in the last time. We might want this Terminus. Do we want this Terminus? I don't know. Probably not. Actually, we probably want Terminus over like a Brightling, which it does not really have the capacity to win us the game. Gotta cut one thing. We're gonna run 41 cards. Love to play first. I got a Lightning Helix and a Moat. They have Terastodon though, so Moat doesn't save us, it only delays the inevitable. I don't know if I can mulligan this hand though. Because like, the only thing that we could ask for better than this is just like an insane Lotus high roll to win the game. I'm gonna mulligan in favor of maybe something with slightly more interaction. Okay. I mean, that's sort of what I asked for. We'll keep. We're gonna put Sun Titan to the bottom. Start Inspiring Vantage, pass the turn. We draw Flooded Strand, play Flooded Strand, pass. Opponent plays a Swamp. Inquisition with 1 legal target, but it is our only clock. Wow. Alright. That was pretty good. Okay, Teferi's a really good permanent, if we can get to him. Play a Mountain, pass the turn. Channel. A channel is never a good sign. If this is Kozilek, we can Wrath of God it. If it's Ulamog, we're probably dead. Because they can nuke a permanent, and that stops our only answer in the form of Faith's Fetters. So we would have to top deck Winds of Change. Okay, Kozilek. Opponent was scaring us with the additional colorless there. Unless this is Lightning Greaves. What the F? Is this nonsense? This is total garbage, and everyone knows it. Oh, what a way to lose the game. Yeah, you got us. Channel Kozilek. Valid win condition. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this iteration of Vintage Cube. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!